everyone. Hola, ¿cómo están? How are we, my peeps? ¿Cómo están, mi gente? We're going to deal with some florals today. So we haven't done florals in a little bit, so I thought, hey, we gotta change things up. So we are going to be doing a centerpiece, and I have a vase or vase that's like a pumpkin that we're going to be using. Very cute. And we're going to, of course, be using pumpkins and different florals, and I'm going to give you, of course, different ideas as we go along, because of course I like to share different ways of doing different things. So what we are going to do, as usual, is change our view and all of that. I want to make sure you see all the supplies we're going to need. We've been having some of those technical issues like before, so hopefully we won't get disconnected. So bear with me if it happens. I will just keep on trying, and maybe by the third time we'll get it, and if not, I will do an upload. I'll just go ahead and do the centerpiece and get it uploaded as a premiere or something like that later on. So just as a heads up, I did call the company, and they said they were fixing or working something on the towers, and that might maybe what's causing the issues. So hopefully not. So if this is your first time here with me, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, give thumbs up, share the link. We call that sharing some love, sharing the love. Share the link with your friends and loved ones. That'll help me out a lot. That's how we get things rolling in YouTube. Is the more people that join us and watch and do the sharing and all that, the better it is for us to be able to work on the channel. Same things for under the description on the video. We do have some affiliates that you'll see for some tools that I use and different things. If you're interested in getting any of those items, if you use those links, I might get a couple of pennies for your purchase. That helps me out as well with regards to supplies and just different costs with being able to have a YouTube channel. So, and be able to do these lives and tutorials and supplies and all that good stuff. So all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and change the view as usual. And we're going to get started, because I want you to see the mess I have on my table, because I wanted to have as much as possible out. We hardly ever, if you watched any of my tutorials before, you know that I don't use all the supplies, but I like having the different ideas and different options to show you as we work our craft. And I like the creative juices to flow as we're working on something. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and change it. You should be able to see me on the top corner of your screen, and also see the top view of my work table, so that you can see some of the supplies already. So I'm going to go ahead and get the keyboard out of the way and make sure that my phone is out of the way. Sorry about that. So we can get going, and hopefully I brought all the supplies over and get the mouse out of the way. So I have my skillet going, because I do normally go back and forth and use the glue gun or use the skillet depending on what I'm working on. So with it being as many florals as we're probably going to be using this evening, I wanted to have the skillet going. So I do have that going. So if my if I start being kind of hot, you'll know why. Because the skillet is going. Let me actually put some more glue in there. So we're going to be using this vase, and it's I actually got a good deal on this one, but I don't remember. Was edible arrangements type thing. I got the wrong one up here. This one I actually got an arrangement on before, so we're going to recycle. Why not? So a couple of different options for this. And I put them all here so that we can see, depending on how you want to work your centerpiece, how tall you want it and all of that, or if you're going to have anything put in, you may have to do some filler if you're going to be using something like this, but there's an option of doing it either way. These are used usually for those longer ones, so that way you could put it in and normally go either way depending on how you're going to fill it. So that's one option. It is styrofoam. Of course, you can use rectangular ones and kind of fill it in, cut it to size, and then fill in on both sides until you get everything filled as you need it, so it'll be nice and snug in there. Of course, you use some glue as well, and then cutting. And then just find the one that works best for you. I'm going to be using this square one just because I'll only have to cut the corners to get it to fit in there. And I actually just remembered I forgot the knife, but excuse me, we're going to be using this one. We're going to get it inside, and then I'm going to be using this as a topper just so I can get a little bit more height and go from there. So we're going to just work on it together, and I'm going to try to use my little cutters for this because why not? It's what we have, right? I hope everyone is doing well today, just doing fabulous. I know here we're got word that there's a storm out there, of course, and seems to be heading towards Louisiana, which means we'll be to the east side of that and possibly getting some of that wind and rain and all of that good stuff this weekend. So we'll see how it goes. It's the season. Okay, so I'm just kind of giving it a shape, and I'm using just this little cutter, so it might take me a little bit here. Messy, messy. Okay. So the idea is, I still have one more slide. Did I get them all? I think I did. Okay. So the idea is to have it nice and snug when you get in there. So what I do, and again, you could use glue at the bottom as well. And I could even, let's see if I can get my fingers in there and get it out. Okay. We'll get some, oops, I just lost it that quickly. There we go. So what we're going to do is actually fill it in, and I save these because it'll help us with filling in the side. And there's one of those warnings again. Hopefully it won't happen, y'all. I'm going to just leave that in there for now, just for the sake of timing and for the tutorial. So you can use these same ones if the size would work, just to kind of get it to stay put. And just work it on in there. It's basically so it won't be moving on you, okay? Okay. And these real thin ones, I'm just gonna throw them away. Okay. That'll work for now. Okay, so then I mentioned I was gonna do this other one on the top just because I want to have a little bit more of the height, although the flowers themselves are gonna be high enough. So I'm gonna just gauge that here in a second. So we have these here. So I'm gonna, let's see, so that you can actually see them from above. So we'll be cutting quite a few of these to use, and that way we can use some of that greenery. We have a few of these. Excuse me. And I like having at least 3 or so of each pick that I get, just because of the looks of it. So I'm going to show you at least one of each one. There's that one with the sunflower. Okay, and we have some of these as well that we'll be using. We have a wide enough variety. So I don't know if you can see all of this here. I guess I might not have to necessarily show you one by one, but we have these for some, so you can have some more of the leaves, and we may use some of these. Aren't they cute? We have some cotton. Anyways, just some things to kind of build some height and all of that. So we may not actually need all of that. Okay, so what I like to do next, and this is based on your preference, you can wait until the end and do this part, or do it at the beginning. I've done it both ways, and I seem to like it better doing it at the beginning. And what I'm talking about is adding our moss to kind of cover this a bit. And I like doing it first because when I did it afterwards, if you can imagine, you already have all of your florals in the right position, and then you put glue on the inside, try to get on the inside of it and around of it to try to cover it, or try to put some glue on it and try to get with your fingers, and it's just everything is in the way. So although you may have to push a little bit harder to get everything in with the moss already on there, I prefer that because at least most of the coverage is already taken care of. So that being said, I did set up the skillet but not the glue gun, so I'm gonna turn that on, and we'll try to do without for now. So I have, so it won't spill, I put a little stick in my skillet, and I kind of use that to kind of pour some of the glue out when I don't have my glue gun ready. So that's what I'm going to be doing, so we can go ahead and add that peat moss. Not peat moss. I've been doing gardening, don't mind me. So we can do a floral moss on here. So if you are joining me now, we are working on a centerpiece using a pumpkin vase or vase, depending on how you like to call it. Okay. Okay, I don't think we'll need much more than that. I'm gonna get my shoe out. That's my little tape holder. Just so I can tape that up and get it out of the way. Ooh, that's kind of warm. Alrighty. So if you, as you can already see, it does get kind of messy working on this type of project, but it'll be beautiful. I'm gonna kind of use the glue gun and put a little bit more here in a little bit, so while we cut things and get them ready. So if you have watched any of my videos before, and of course you could always do a replay on them if you haven't, I save, when I do florals, I try to save some of the picks that I don't use, because you can use those instead of having to buy those, I forgot what they call them right now, but they're wooden sticks that you can use to attach other embellishments to your florals. Instead of buying that, or if you don't have any or happen to run out and didn't think to pick any of them up, you could actually use the sticks from the picks to do the same thing. So that's what I'm going to be using today, so I can show you how that works. So for these, as we go along, we need to cut them. I've already cut one so that we have enough just to use to put in, but without the bigger part. So we're going to just go ahead and start cutting, because we know we're going to use a few of them. This will help with having our greenery and helping us with as a filler depending on what we need. So we're going to be needing a little bit, just a little bit. The key with doing a centerpiece or arrangement is, of course, to set your base. So depending on how big your vase is, you don't want to go too far out, but you don't want to just stay right within, and definitely build some height. Okay, so as we go, we're going to start with our greenery and anything that we want to use to kind of build that base base and vase Spanglish. So we'll do that at first to kind of get our everything going. You could also start right in the middle with what you want to get the most attraction. So for example, if I was to just use this whole arrangement, we can definitely go right on in and just put it right down in the middle and then spread the flowers out. Nothing wrong with that. We can definitely do that. I would definitely suggest moving the leaves up if you decide to do that. And we might even do that today, just so I can show you what it looks like. Let's see, are we ready? So I want to put a little bit more blue here on the edges. Doesn't look like we need much there, but there we go. So, yikes. Definitely hot. Okay, so here we go. So let's say we decide we want to use this whole thing. Normally if it was bigger, let's see, that might be okay. And what I'm judging is how deep I'll have to go for the height not to be too high. So we could definitely do that. I don't think that would be too high, and then we can reposition some of the flowers. I do like to push the leaves up when I'm going to be cutting them and then position them. I think with doing this, we're going to need, if we do the other option, we're going to need some more of these fillers, of course, to fill it in, which nothing wrong with that, right? Because we always see, like even on flower arrangements, we do see the stems, right? So nothing wrong with that. So that's definitely an option. I'm going to go ahead and just start pushing these up before I cut them. Just wanted to show you that that's an idea. With this one being so big, I don't think I want to go that route. Just look like it might overpower it, and I don't want to make the centerpiece too big. So what I'm doing, I hope you can see that I'm trying to do it right under the top camera. I'm just pushing the leaves, the green leaves, excuse me, up before I start cutting. And I normally cut them long at first, and then if I need to cut them shorter, I can do that. And this is why I say that you can also do the full stem right in the middle. And then just open up the flowers and then fill from there. Because you can definitely build the height using that method. And not have to do as much cutting, right? So I'm gonna cut about 3 of each, and then I'll see where we're at. So we need a couple more. And also, I'm going to be, for those that have actually been with me for a bit, we're going to be doing voting again. So be ready for that email. We don't have a vendor show this weekend, so I'm hoping to get that set up and sent over the weekend. So we'll do that voting for the next couple of tutorials. So you'll tell me what you want to see. I'll put some options that you can vote, and you can tell me A, B, C, D. And the one that has the most votes will be done first. And then we'll do the others in that order, depending based on the votes, the voting. And if you haven't done that with me before, if this is your first time here with me, there is a link on the bottom for the description of the video where it says for joining the email list. If you do that, you'll be participating, or you could participate in that, what I just mentioned with regards to the voting and helping us with letting us know what you would prefer to see next. Okay. So I'm going to go without these. I'm going to get them out of the way just for sake of spacing. Okay, so we'll have our long ones here and our mid-sized ones. I'm going to get these cut and ready to roll. Now these I'm going to actually leave just as they are. I'm not going to cut them down. Trying to set them up by size here. Going to do my little ones in the front, and here are my greenery. So as we go, you could kind of arrange it the way you believe you may want to put the florals, if you have an idea. Or you could just start putting things in and then decide after the fact. After. There's really, other than my suggestion for setting up your base, how long, how wide, you know, the width of it, how long you want to go either way, the width and then decide how tall you want it to be, and then that'll help you decide which way to go with which flowers and how to cut and so on. Okay, there's my 2 and my 3rd, and we probably won't use all of these. I hardly ever do. I am using some remnants as usual, kind of like with the vase itself. So you'll be able to see some of those. They're already pre-cut because I already had them left from a different arrangement. And we'll see how it goes, because that's the way we roll. Okay, here are my little ones. These little ones, the shorter ones, is what I would normally use as fillers, and usually around the edge to kind of cover around the top edge once we're done putting everything else in. Got the pumpkin. There's the pumpkin. So if you're watching the replay, you could also leave a comment or any questions you may have. If you don't mind, please let me know your first name, where you're watching from. That gives me an idea who, you know, how far I reach and who's joining from where. We had someone watch the replay from Delaware the other day, and I haven't had anybody from Delaware before, so it made me so happy. So do let me know where you're watching from. It's the little things. It's the little things. Just taking all of these tickets off just so they won't be in our way. And I do the same thing with these. I just move the greenery up. I learned that from Miss Lori. It does make it look better. So I mentioned I do cut them long at first because again we may want to build some height. And then as we need to make things shorter, we can make the things shorter. But if you start cutting short right from the get-go, might run into some trouble there with being able to get everything filled in. So where is, okay, here we go. Still thinking about cutting some more of these, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my middle. And I had a pumpkin. Okay, here we go. So I put these pumpkins together. I had a bigger one and a smaller one, and I just put some leaves and some other florals on it. Attached them. I had wire, and I just kind of put the wire through to attach the other pumpkin, and I glued the leaves and these things down so I could use that as a pick. So that could be something else you can use and something you can do to add a little something something to your arrangement. And you can still do some glue and decide where you want it and then build from there. Oops. Whoops, my pumpkin just fell. I forgot to put the glue on that. Let's see. So all I'm doing now is just putting some glue on the inside of that so it'll hold it together. Kind of doing it backwards. I should have done that at first. Thought I had already done it. Alrighty, so I want the yellow. Hello, yellow. I'm going to do my 3 yellow ones first, so I can go ahead and do my 3 and decide which way I want to go. If I need to cut. So I don't want to go, I don't think I want to go much higher than that. So I'm going to cut these down a little so I can start building the shape. Spider webs, spider webs. Okay, so doing the same thing with my other colors, just going in opposite directions. And all we're doing is just spreading the colors around. This one is a little bit longer, so I'm gonna cut it down a bit. Okay, I think these we can leave as they are. Just kind of building that little bit of height, kind of something coming through. It is fall, so things kind of should be throughout and spread out. And go with this cocktail. Kind of wish you could see the the skillet part a little bit better. And all I do is just kind of put the glue sticks on there, and they melt. I wouldn't put it on high. I just kind of put it on medium a few minutes before I'm going to start. And I find that I burn myself a lot less doing the skillet. Learned that from Miss Lori too. Okay, I'll try to see which way can you see it better. There we go. I'll add some orange. Then what we'll do, once we're done with the middle part, we'll start more around the next section and we'll cut them down some more. Being stubborn, and I don't want to twist it. Okay. Getting all of these spider webs. The little strings that we get from the glue as it cools, that's what I'm calling spider webs. It's not an actual spider anywhere. You cut this one down. Once we're happy with the fullness or the spread of the colors, we can start putting in some more greenery and start doing our fillers. don't know that I want to use the cotton stuff. Maybe to add some of the white. And I might even do the whole thing on this one because this one's shorter. That way you can see that how that would work. Okay, so when we do that, all we have to do is spread things around however we want to. Because they are wired, right? So why not? We could put the other one on the other side and do the same thing. So these are basically in the middle, but I'm kind of putting them, once you move things around, to where they look like there's some in the middle and some on the sides as well. Like so. So you can spread some of the white. And you can move them around however you need to. Again, they are wired. Just like when we do the ribbons, they are wired, so we can do whatever we want. Right? Move them around. And if you're not sure, like kind of like I'm doing now, if I want to go even higher, you can kind of position them without gluing them and then decide which way you want to go. Or if you want to use them as shorter ones and use them as fillers, they're very good as fillers when they're smaller, but you could also use them to build height. Just fell. Okay, so these I'm going to go ahead and cut so I can position them throughout. And this will be on the next layer. Looks like they'll go just perfect. I don't know if you can, yeah, you could see them. There are, let's see, right here. So they are giving them that spread to kind of make them come through further out. So these will be perfect. Okay, just starting to fill in. don't forget, if you haven't already done so, thumbs up. If you're enjoying any part of this video, of this tutorial, learning something new, or just got a refresher, whatever the case might be, please do consider doing the thumbs up. Whether it's because you're laughing at me, enjoying my Spanglish. Let's see about adding more of the little rounded. Make sure I fill it more here by where our pumpkin is. I'm going to try to turn it so you can see that. See, it's kind of pretty full as we are. It's getting there. But I want more flowers there. Let's see, we got the burgundy, the yellow. I'm going to do another yellow on that spot. This yellow also has some orange, but it'll also help us to distribute some more of the color. There we go. Hello, yellow. So I'm hoping everyone is doing well. I know there's been just so much going on in our world. Let's keep creating and just spreading some cheer through our creations. If you do create anything, if this has motivated you or given you an idea and you make something, please do share it on social media and tag us on it. Just doing the pound and especially made for me, the business name. Whichever social media you decide to use, or whichever one is your favorite, whether it's Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram, so many of them out there. Just do share. And tag us. I love to see what you've created, if we've given you any ideas or just another option on making something that you may have already made. I had someone sent us a comment saying that they were having trouble, I think it was that they were having trouble deciding how to use their square wreath forms. And they watched one of the tutorials and voila, they were able to go from there. Just makes my day when I know my tutorials has helped someone make something beautiful, whether for themselves or somebody else or to sell. Or even for their own home decorations, because why not? We gotta make our homes pretty too, right? Normally I am sitting down when I make these. So I'm kind of like having to squat down a little bit so I can see the bottom. So right now I'm just doing the fillers just to kind of help provide some coverage in between and adding a little bit more of the greenery, just using some of these as fillers. And I'm going to turn it over a little bit so you can kind of see. These are down here to kind of provide some coverage for the middle. So I'm going to put a couple more and then we can do our next layer with the shorter flowers. So we can start going a little bit more this way. Just a little. Let's see, where was I? Probably 2 more of these, if not 3, and we'll be ready to roll. Okay, I'm gonna try to put this last one somewhere in the middle just for some more of a filler. See if I can get it on in there. Oops. Aha. Okay, and then we'll do another layer of those at the bottom to spread it out. Okay, so I'm going to start cutting these other ones a little bit shorter so we can start going along on the bottom. Kind of trying to separate things here. Let's see where we're at. Doing good. How are we doing out there? I am thankful that it's Friday. How about you? Hi. How are you? Thank you. doing our fillers now. I think I want another one of those on there. Good. Glad you're good. It's a little bit hot and humid out here, and we're waiting on that storm. Well, I'm not waiting on it. I'm hoping it just goes away because I don't want it to go to Louisiana either, even though I'm not there. They've just had enough of storms on that side as well. But I'm thankful it's the weekend. Alrighty, almost all the way around, doing our fillers. Looks like I'm already there, actually. So I'm going to turn it over one more time, just so that you can see it on the side. I'm just now starting to fill down here, doing our fillers, so we can start spreading it out more this way. That's where these come in. If you get a lot of these that kind of looks stringy, that helps you with spreading it out as well without having to do too much. And this is where I started doing the fillers. Okay. So one of our hard decisions will be, not that it's really all that hard, putting in this little fellas. So we had these picks, so we could put one on either side, and that way we can have one of them on each side, or we can put them together, make a front, so to speak. So that's going to be a big decision, huh? Do you? I love all the colors of fall, and I like that it's usually not so hot. I'm not much for the heat. I have 3. Woohoo! 3 more. Let's see where else we need to go. Right here. Yeah, there's just something about the heat. It's just only so much you can do dealing with the heat. My mom used to say, when it's heat, there's only so much you can take off without being improper. If it gets cold, you could just put more stuff on or get a blanket. So I opt for the cooler weather. See, I got pumpkin on this side, pumpkin on this side. I think I need another pumpkin on the other side. Let's see. I want pumpkins throughout. Some kind of pumpkin. Isn't this one cute? Just a little one. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Thank you. Definitely miss her. Twice indeed. Okay. If the spider webs will go away, we might be able to get done faster. Okay. Doing good. I saw another bare spot when I turned it over. To add more of these to bring it out. And I like these too because they're wired, so if we need to kind of bend them a little bit to give it give everything a bit of more of a shape, we can definitely do that. Okay. We have a ton of things we can still use. So I'm going to start using these smaller ones on the edges just for the coverage. And then once you have it with the shape you want it to have, from there it's just doing the fillers like we're doing. So not much to it really. Just keep turning it and looking at different angles. And that way you know if you need to add a different color of something to kind of brighten it up, or just to add length, depending on what you need. Okay, let's see, can we see that from there? I want to make sure we can see all the different angles. Hi, Miss Monica. No worries. We're just adding our fillers now towards the bottom. Just kind of turning it around so we can see all the different angles. Add a couple more of these, just because we can. Okay, so the idea again here is just to kind of make it spring out. So that way it's not just like one big bowl. We want to make all these things come on out. So that's what I'm doing now. And then we can fill it in on the little spaces with some more of the little flowers and so on. Hope we're doing okay out there. Any questions on anything? That's it. Well, I know with kids going back to school too, I'm sure that's not that's that's adding to the mix, isn't it? Let me see. Let's see. Trying to get it buried in there. But I'm adding another little pumpkin up here, like down here, just to kind of make sure they're throughout. So on the leaves, once you push them up, if they have multiple ones, they might be in layers. You can move them around so you can have one on each side. So that way you can make it shaped like that. Well, I'm glad I'm helping with the relaxation. That is awesome. Love it, love it. Glad to be of assistance. Woohoo! Is that one shorter? I might put these in together. Haha! Looks like it was all one piece. Okay, I just put these two pieces here. There were two separate pieces, so it looks like it was just one little stem. That's what I'm kind of chuckling about. Let's see. I need a couple more of these and I think we'll be done. I'm melting. Compliments of the skillet. lost my spot. Guess it'll go in here. You can see all these little spider webs. I don't know if you can see them from the top, from the glue. We need a little more something right there, and I don't know what to put on there without messing up the design. I had another small piece. Did it drop on the floor? Excuse me, y'all. It did drop on the floor. Was trying to run from me. Okay. Let's see if I can. So you can see on both screens, I guess. There's our arrangement. All right. Okay, so depending on when you join me, you may not have heard. I'm going to try to get that email out for the voting and get the new items up in the shop. So if you don't have the shop favorited, you may not get the notification unless you're on that email list. And usually the only way the Etsy lets you know about a new item is if you're actually within Etsy. So if you want to know without having to get to Etsy, do sign up for the email list if you haven't already. Because with us not having a vendor show this weekend or next, I'm hoping to get it all done and add the mesh and ribbons and new items on there. Holla! I like that. Names, names. I give it a couple of minutes to make sure. I know there's a delay. There we go. Yay! Awesome. Let me go ahead and change the view so we can see the see if I can hold it up, might be better. Ah, thank you. Okay, sounds good. All right, so hopefully we'll get the mesh up this weekend, and we'll do that email blast for the notification on the voting. Thank you. so we can decide what we're going to do for the next month. Just thought I would do florals today because we haven't done florals in a while. We haven't done fake bakes in a while either, so we may have to do some of those with the different holidays. So we still have our picks. Whoop, whoop. So I may add those later. I don't know. I kind of like it without them. So, but thank you all for joining. Makes it so much more fun when we have interaction. But until next time, again, be on the lookout for that email if you're signed up to the email list. And then on the shop with regards to the new items that are being added, and the mesh will be added. We do have some striped edge mesh that will be put up as well. So be on the lookout for that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get it all done. So until next time, we'll be back again on Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If any questions or anything, leave me a comment. I do check them periodically even after the video. So yeah, I didn't think it didn't need the scarecrow either. I think it's just, it should be fine the way it is. We can use the scarecrow on another project. But until next time, y'all, thanks again for joining in. Keep creating. Let's share all the creations out there and make our world beautiful and make everybody smile with all the crazy that's going on in our world. Keep creating, share, do tag me if you say make anything, and share it on social media. So until next time, stay safe, stay liquid. Bye.